Hey, welcome back. Again, we're here at the 2017 NAMM show. I'm Dustin Yos from Woodwind Brasswind. Here again with my friend Jody Spina from Jody Jazz Mouthpieces. Great playing, Jody. It was great to hear you and the guys play.
Thank you.
Can you tell us just a little bit more about the Superjet? I know it's a newer mouthpiece. Can you just tell us a little bit more about it? Maybe some of the inspiration behind the mouthpiece.
Sure. So this is the debut of the Superjet, and basically the Jet has been a phenomenal success for us. It's got so much bottom. If you heard Brian Miller playing the Jet, it's like Cannonball with extra power.
Yeah.
And then there's the player that plays in even more loud gigs, and you still need a little more power. And with a metal mouthpiece, your mouth is smaller, and that makes your chamber smaller, which gives it a little brighter feel. Plus, metal is harder material.
Gotcha.
That gives a brighter feel. Then we goose the chamber of the Jet a little bit to be a little brighter. But the struggle for me always is to make a mouthpiece well-rounded so that you can still play a ballad. Very important. You can't have a mouthpiece where it's like scratching the chalkboard.
Yeah, nails on the chalkboard.
Right.
Yeah.
But we wanted this mouthpiece to be for any rock player, smooth jazz player, or jazz player who needs more power. So the power. And it has nice altissimo because of a shorter facing, which the Jet also has. The facing curve is the most important thing in a mouthpiece for me. So we have 6 different facing curves going on in our models now. So
great. Now, what tip openings are available with the Superjet?
It's going to be 5 through 10. The Superjet has that small chamber, so somebody who plays, let's say they play a 6 in a hard rubber or something else, you might go to a 7 in the Superjet. I'm playing an 8 right now. I think the 7 is going to be the most popular, but the 6 plays beautifully. We just finished the 5 a couple days ago, and it plays beautifully. So for somebody who doesn't get to practice a lot, that's the reason to play a smaller tip, especially like a 5. If you don't get less than 4 hours a week, but you still want to play, get a 5 and you're going to be fine.
Great, great. So what strength reeds would you normally recommend with this kind of mouthpiece? Should a player go on the softer side or maybe on the harder side?
It's a great question because the reed is so important. It's a 1-2 punch combination. So with a shorter facing, a little softer reed works because the reed doesn't get as long, much reed to vibrate.
Okay. Right.
So I'm on a 2 hard select jazz reed here, where normally on my DV8 I'm at about 3 medium. But I like the buzz, the softer feel for this style of sound. So you might go a little bit softer. You know, this is always different. Sometimes people just use their reed on everything and it works.
Right.
But often we counsel different reeds for different mouthpieces.
Yeah. Great. Now I noticed too, we have a special type of ligature here.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about what that ligature is and maybe how it's helping the reed to vibrate differently than maybe other ligatures that are on the market?
Well, it's the debut also of the power ring for. We just introduced it a couple months ago for the DVs, and now we have it for the hard rubber and the Jet. The power ring is nice and hefty, and it adds a little body to the sound because of the extra weight. So there's more body. Vibration is everything in a wind instrument.
Absolutely.
Vibration is everything.
Absolutely.
So what's happening is the power ring is contoured inside to go like this. So it touches the reed in 4 points. Here on the edges, and here and here.
Okay.
So there's less touch points. So to give you an example, we're going to show which I believe the ligature that we put with the mouthpieces, the Rico H ligature, is a great ligature. I really stand behind it, but you'll hear the difference. Then we'll put the power. And I love the simplicity of the power.
It just
range.
goes right on the mouthpiece, yeah.
It may be hard to hear here, but what
Yeah,
do you
I
hear?
can hear it. Yeah, it just opens up the reed a little bit more. You get a lot of that low end that you were talking about. It sounds great. Now, obviously, for our customers, they're very familiar with some of your other models. Maybe can you touch on some of the characteristics of the DV? I know that a lot of our customers are familiar with your hard rubber series, but I'm not sure they quite know the story behind the DV and how that mouthpiece can kind of help their sound.
Sure. So the DV we have a patent in, and the goal, the struggle was to try and make a mouthpiece that you could play live that had plenty of volume, but had a fullness that no other mouthpiece, I think, has. And we did that by opening it up. I'm going to show you the baritones. This is nice and big. We opened up this area under the reed. So now, and I got the idea through reading the Da Vinci Code in applying the golden mean proportions found throughout nature in a mouthpiece. And all the proportions on the mouthpiece follow that. And it's what led me to this secondary window, I call it. So when we do that, it immediately adds this Dexter Gordon big thing.
Yeah.
And so now this is with a 3 medium reed as opposed to 2 hard.
Okay.
And this is an 8 also.
You really have quite the range with that mouthpiece too.
Yeah. So it's still my number one mouthpiece.
Go-to mouthpiece.
But it's like if I had a Mercedes-Benz and then I had a Ferrari on Friday and Saturday night, I'd be driving that Ferrari.
Yeah, of course.
And I am loving the Superjet is my little Ferrari that I just go for it.
Very cool.
Horsepower.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thanks again for your time, Jody. I wanted to ask you kind of a question, maybe more on the educational side. I know that you're a very avid proponent for jazz and music education. You know, is there maybe some advice you would give to an aspiring saxophone player, you know, about kind of how to find their sound, if they're having trouble, just kind of maybe any kind of advice you would give to a intermediate level player?
You know, I mean, it all comes from the player, it comes from practice, it comes from listening to the greats, but every great player, and I met many, every great player I've ever met had a great mouthpiece. So, not to be self-serving, because I make mouthpieces, but I think everybody, if you're starting to get serious or you love playing, you owe it to yourself to find a mouthpiece that really works for you, because it's the most important part of this combination. And I always say try a bunch. I don't say only try Jody Jazz, but we have now I think 7 models, and you know, for different people, different purposes. But that and the reed combination can really kind of spur you on. And if you're stuck with something, sometimes it can get you out of that.
Get you out of a rut if you're kind of in a practicing rut.
You know, you deserve it. You practice. You probably invested in a decent instrument. The mouthpiece is overlooked sometimes, and you don't want to do that.
Right.
Okay.
Great. Perfect.
Right.
Well, thank you again, Jody. Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Again, Dustin Yo's here with Woodwind Brasswind live at NAMM 2017 in the Jody Jazz booth. You can certainly check out all of these models on our website, WWBW.com, and just search Jody Jazz in the search bar, and all of them will pop up. Great. Thanks again, Jody.
Thanks for everything. All right. Bye.